A lot of learning how to live a peaceful life is learning to go with the flow, which I think a lot of us have a really hard time with, right? Really hard time. We want to think that we want to go with the flow, but unexpected things happen to us, and it happens to all of us. And what we really need to do is let go of the outcome, or desire for the outcome, because a lot of times we can plan something in our head, but how often does it actually turn out the way we plan? So if we're upset all the time over the fact that it doesn't turn out exactly the way we plan it, then we're upset all the time. We have to accept situations at face value, and this is really a struggle for all of us. What we need to do is redirect our thoughts to what is and go with the flow. And in the topic of discussing going with the flow, in certain sports, especially like martial arts, they tell you that in order to kind of not get injured, the best thing to do is you're taught to relax your muscles. And even if you think of somebody who's in an accident, drunk drivers, if they're in an accident, oftentimes they might kill somebody else, but what happens to them? They often survive it because they're limber and they're loose and they're relaxed. Well, with life, it's kind of like that too. The more relaxed we are about things, the better able we're to get through things. Otherwise, if we're stressed all the time, we end up with all kinds of physical ailments and all kinds of other problems that can come, whether it's a headache, a stomach ache, God knows only what else, cancer, all kinds of stuff that manifests in our bodies. A great prayer, I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard of it, but the Serenity Prayer is a great prayer. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you because I think it's something that it's important to remind ourselves of this on a daily basis. And the prayer is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This is a good message, and what it basically says is, let's change what we can, but accept what we can't. That's going with the flow. It is. I can't change the things that I can't control, but I make an effort to change the things that I can. And our big thing is, God, give me the strength to get through this. And another thing I think is really important to touch upon is the concept of thy will be done. We say this all the time, right? Thy will be done, thy will be done. But isn't it often my will be done? God, give me this. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Isn't that more my will be done? Because we're often upset when it doesn't work out the way that we want it. So I think it's really important to think about that. Thy will be done. We need to learn to go more with the flow, with whatever God is sending us or whatever the universe is sending us. Because you can't do much about it sometimes. You're kind of stuck. So how do you do it? How do you turn your mind off and live in the now and this desired state of accepting what is? It requires nothing more than practice. It does take practice, though. It's conscious daily effort. So what happens is thoughts arise. That's a natural, spontaneous thing that happens in your mind. And you have three options. You can either follow that bad thought, which could go from minutes to hours to an entire day, to an entire week, to an entire lifetime. Or you could suppress the bad thought. What happens typically when we suppress the bad thought? Let's take an example. I want that piece of chocolate. No, you can't have that piece of chocolate. No, you can't have that piece of chocolate. And then by the end of that, I've eaten a whole bar of chocolate, or maybe more than that, because I've suppressed it so much. And the same thing happens when we suppress thoughts as well. It comes out one way or another and probably ends up way worse. The best option, and what we encourage you to do here today, is to witness your thoughts. Say, wow, I'm thinking about that right now. And redirect yourself to kind of what is going on in the present moment. So right now, you might be sitting here thinking about something that's stressing you out, but try and just recognize, okay, I'm thinking about this thing. I can't do anything about it right now. What's going on right now? There's two presenters here speaking to us about this. There's a wonderful company. There's beautiful music that was playing before. Lots of things. Companies, scents, smells, everything. So, once again, as I stated, that these thoughts will arise spontaneously in the brain. It's very, very natural. You can't shut them off, but what you can do is start to be more aware of them and redirect your thoughts. So, a peaceful life, you need to live relatively thought-free. The problem is we constantly rethink events from the past and worry about the future. Do you guys agree with that? Worry about the past, and the future. Can't do anything about that, right? You can't go back and change things from the past, and you can't jump in the future and control what's going to happen. But the more frequently we try to redirect our thoughts and live with what is, your mind will become more quiet and more peaceful, like a lotus flower emerging from the dark waters below. I love the image of the lotus flower. It's beautiful. And this peace you will derive, it's something that, we talk about it, but I think that you really need to experience it. It's almost like chocolate. I could tell you what chocolate tastes like, but until you taste it, you're not going to So just, it's important just to try it. Okay, there's that thought. What else is going on? What else is going on? But if you can do something about it, do something about it. Do something to take effort to make a change. So what we are also encouraging you to do is live a no-judgment kind of life. Appreciate what you have and move on. Avoid labeling things as good and bad, which is hard to do. We've been doing that since you're 2 years old, as Dr. Puck had mentioned earlier. But it really doesn't help to judge things either all day long. This is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. And a lot of the times when we are working, especially with people that are depressed, what we see a lot is a lot of labeling of bad things. Even looking at people, oh, look at the way that person's dressed, or look at this. I mean, we can label everything bad, and really that's a reflection of what's going on within us as well. So, I'm going to let Dr. Puck take off from there.